Hi everyone. This is Melia Mucks About, preparing to muck about once again in the extended universe of Final Fantasy 15. Hello, thank you for joining. Yes, someone in chat says quite the operatic music. So obviously today we are going into episode Ardyn, and I hope this music choice surprises you. There is a lot about episode Ardyn that is not what you expect at all. And of course, hopefully as we go into this, we'll be answering some of the big questions about who is this person and why did he do all of these things that he did in main game. So it's definitely one of my favorites. Normally I like to take a minute and start my stream with a little bit of lore, just to give people time to realize that my stream is going and join if they want to. However, I am going to skip my lore bit today because in a way, episode Ardyn is like a giant lore archive. So I thought I would share a more personal story today instead about Amelia's story that hopefully will make everyone laugh. When I first ordered the Final Fantasy 15 official works, I went ahead and sprang for the collector's edition because I love this game so much. And when the book arrived, it was hilarious. I opened it up, and the very first picture in there on the inside cover is Noctis and Luna walking together under a tree. And it was a picture I had never seen of them. And on the heels of all the emotion of this game and the beauty and the pain, I literally went into hysterical sobbing for 15 minutes. It was hilarious. I had the art book in my lap. I couldn't see. I was crying so hard, and I kept thinking, all I could think was, this book was so expensive and I'm going to get it wet because I was crying so hard. So I just want to say this really is a series that is very moving, and that's one of the things that I've been trying to do. Yes, someone in chat said so many feels. Thank you, Tira, for joining. And it really is just an amazing journey, and I'm so glad that folks have come on this journey with me. So last time, just really quickly, we did episode Ignis, which of course is a very interesting episode and where you start seeing that there are crossroads of fate. And I know that I've talked about in the past that this game is defined as much by what Noctis didn't know as what he did. And it's so fascinating to see these other sides and perspectives to the story. And so, of course, today we are delving into episode Ardyn. Normally, I would recommend that people have watched Prologue, which you can find on YouTube. It is still on the Square-Enix channel for free. It's episode 6 of the Brotherhood series, and I really think Prologue is the actual events of Ardyn's history, but we'll just talk about them as we run into them in-game today. So on those notes, expect the unexpected. This music is very reminiscent to me as well of Somnus, which is the song you hear when you get to insomnia. We are about to go on a journey. And once again, this is Melia Mucks About, preparing to muck about in the extended universe of Final Fantasy 15. Having turned the Empire to shambles and shrouded the world in darkness, Ardyn, erstwhile healer of those who ailed, now sits atop the Lucian throne, denied him by the crystal some 2 millennia ago. So it's also fascinating to realize he was a healer. He was not lying about that. He was absolutely someone who used to be about saving people at all costs, and trying to heal the world. So you really do have to question what in the world could have made him into this, where he took down insomnia, he took down the Empire, and he is now ruling over a world of chaos. If someone in chat puts healer in quotes, he was a healer. I do think that he also had true healing powers like Luna. And I think it's worth pointing out that there are different magics in this world. Really, the only other healer that we've seen is Luna. Someone else says being forced to do it. Yeah, that's a good question. So here we are, with gloom and darkness covering the sky.
There lived a man, blessed by the gods, and revered by the people as their savior. His name was Ardyn Lucis Kylum. And he was to have served as the first king of Lucis.
So it's interesting. I see someone in chat saying he sure thought he was. I do think he was, and I think they have Era say it because Ardyn's an unreliable narrator. But that female voice, that's an oracle, so you trust her more. So of course we're rewinding now to go back in time. Oh, I love the rewind. It's just a black screen. I'm still here. Don't worry. So interestingly, we've only gone back about 30 years, not 2000.
Reported MIA since sometime before dawn this morning. The missing officer has been identified as 28-year-old Mars Sapientia. Although Officer Sapientia allegedly reported for duty at his appointed time, fellow officers say he disappeared soon after and has not been sighted since.
Now, importantly, remember, you can see that's Ardyn in the reflection, but nobody else can see it's him. They're all seeing the officer's appearance that he's wearing.
And now a word from the Public Information Bureau. Today marks the anniversary of the founding of the Kingdom of Lucis. The Founders Day Committee has prepared a number of attractions in honor of this auspicious occasion, including a parade around the Citadel as well as a statue of the Founder King himself. All are welcome and encouraged to participate in today's festivities.
It looks festive.
From the Public Information Bureau.
What about you?
Now, on to the weather.
Shouldn't you be looking for your buddy?
Today in the Crown City, we expect mild
No.
weather with nothing but blue skies.
I'm on special
The
assignment.
may experience some inclement weather, starting in the evening and continuing throughout the night.
Oh, he is such an ass. But yeah, so as you can see, while we know that this is Ardyn, everyone else is not seeing that. They're seeing the actual just sort of a Lucian soldier. Yeah, someone in chat says he is the buddy.
Home, sweet home at last.
It's been a long journey.
The parade will begin making its way through the city.
Return of the Savior.
Circling the Citadel alongside the statue of the Founder King.
All right. Ooh, taking a quick pan. We have lots of skyscrapers. Obviously the glory of Insomnia before it fell. This is really a beautiful city. I think a lot of people complained that you weren't allowed to really explore Insomnia, but this is your chance in some horrifying and horrible ways.
So this is the city Somnus built. Built on the back of his own flesh and blood. Just look at them, free of care and unaware of the war beyond their wall.
Ooh, I'm gonna go look at the billboard before I go where I'm supposed to. Nope, it won't let me. I am blocked. I am defeated by green traffic cones. Alright. So it hasn't been mentioned, but Somnus is Ardyn's younger brother, which you would know if you have seen Prologue. It just makes a little more sense to know that here.
Of all festival goers, we ask that you please follow all staff instructions. Vehicular access will also be limited in some areas around the Citadel for the festival's duration. In addition,
They only let me walk.
entirely during the parade. We thank you for your cooperation.
I don't see anyone I can
What
talk
need is there to
to.
worry when brick and mortar blinds them to the suffering outside? Why
And you know-
venture out into the world when you feel so safe within?
He does have a point that Lucius is enjoying all this prosperity, and if you remember outside, it's kind of like a desert. Now, if you see this statue, it's one of the kings of yore right there. It looks like we can check out what it says.
This is the statue of the Founder King? I see the sculptor took quite a few liberties.
Oh, he is so mad at Somnus. I don't blame him. Oh, lady, I can talk to you.
The fact that our nation still stands is all thanks to the kings who came before.
Apparently people get out on Founders Day and just chat about the kings in the streets. What a holiday. Alright, where am I going? Through people's... No, oh, come on. Apparently we are littering confetti. I think that's confetti. Oh, I can talk to this child. Yes, small child. What do you have to say?
So what do you think, son? Not every day you get to see the king's personal bodyguards up close.
They're so cool. I want to be a royal guard someday.
No, you really don't. Trust me, you really
And
don't.
that must be the king's castle.
And just looking around to see if there's anyone else in the crowd that I can maybe speak with. It is interesting seeing the people waving black flags because that's sort of the color of the Lucian symbol.
Now, let the fireworks begin!
Yeah, someone in chat says there's supposed to be a death cult, and there is definitely some truth to that. And a freak, a little bit late on purpose.
Curses the wielding names of the gods.
The Tale of the Fallen King, Prisoner of Fate. And remember that in the main game, that was one of the things that really remained unresolved, was what happened to Ifrit, because obviously he's under Ardyn's control. Shiva had asked us to even save Ifrit, and that ended up not happening in main game ending. The year is ME734. Spirits are high in the Crown City as all of Insomnia prepares to celebrate Founders Day. Yet the citizens of the Lucian capital are in for a rude awakening. Ardyn has returned to interrupt their peaceful reverie and wreak havoc upon his former home, first reflecting on the events that brought him here. So now after this loading screen, we'll be doing another time jump back quite a bit further. Darkness. I feel like I need someone to say darkness back and forth with me a few times right there.
Ardyn. Oh, Ardyn. You can't expect me to believe that.
Oh, but I do. You have my word.
Well, in that case...
Oh my gosh, it is so strange to see him
look
not in
exhausted,
8 layers
my
of
love.
clothing.
Are you all right?
I am. The gods blessed me with a power and a purpose to cure people of what ails them. I must see their will be done.
A much
Your
simpler
devotion shall
time.
not go unnoticed. The gods will doubtless be watching over you.
The gods are bad at their job, lady. We know this.
I shall be watching over you every step of the way. It seems to me the cure for your exhaustion is comprised of two things, one of which is rest.
Oh? And the other?
Is me.
Someone in chat says they thought Ardyn wouldn't be caught dead in untailored clothing. Yep, he used to be simple. He used to just be a simple healer. There's a lot of questions here whether these two are actually in love. I happen to fall into the camp of I think they are. I think this scene is adorable. I think it's to show that they found comfort in each other. And she seems to be doing a lot of voluntary snuggling and laughing. Oh. I had someone try and argue with me that he was not in a prison. This is a prison! Okay. Yeah, and someone in chat says, or was this just his memory of the past? And that is the point. Sometimes
He's
memories
alive.
can change.
Just as the ancient texts told.
First die. Prompto's evil daddy.
Take him away.
A young Versailles. Oh, it's so weird seeing how much he looks like Prompto. So keep in mind, this was only, what, I want to say like 40 years before the main game. That they're taking Ardyn off of Angel Guard. Ardyn has no idea where he is. I'm allowed to look around. This is all I can do. Rocks. People. Yeah, he's being removed from his not prison.
Touch me.
Oh, and I'm sure he hurts. Did you see those chains? And so these are Imperial soldiers. This is Niflheim taking him off of Angel Guard.
Roger that. We'll transport the subject to your location.
And we'll have the medical team ready as planned.
Not much going on. Ooh, what's that?
What's the situation over there?
Nothing to report. We're just...
Yeah, these were not Magitech yet. Someone in chat pointed that out. Very, very good point. This is before the Magitech program. These are just regular peoples. I'm loose! I'm loose! Now I can limp around. Now these are Lucians who warped in. Oh, you...
Get it back in the cell, no matter what.
That makes me so mad that they call him Adagium and thing. Ouch! Ouch! Stop! What did I do? I'm just stumbling around!
This. This. At once!
Ardyn enters Overkill when his HP falls to 0. While in this undying state, his attacks deal more damage, but his maximum HP falls every time he takes a hit. So the truth of Ardyn is revealed. If you kill him, it's worse. When Ardyn's maximum HP falls to 0, the game is over. So I should try to not let that happen. Defeat the Royal Guards. But he really did not hit first. He is literally stumbling around, and they came in stabbing and trying to put him back in the cave. Someone in chat says there are Magitech, that these just aren't clones. That's a good point too. I could see that early Magitech development. So press 0 to attack with royal arms, hold 0, blah blah blah. Okay. In short, you guys are in trouble. If I hit you.
Out of my way.
Ooh. But he really is never unarmed since he has Armiger weapons. Yeah, chat clarifies that Magitech is any technology that uses magic. Correct. So I suppose it is good to say that Niflheim has Magitech, they just haven't done the Deathless project. Ouch! Stop with the hitting and the hurting! Wow, they sent a lot of people. With crossbows! Alright, so I can shadow step, which is really cool. Get around behind people. Ooh, I love how the world goes purple. Wow. Trying to hide in the bushes, were we?
Enough!
I love that he dissolves into miasmal particles. The design on this is just amazing. Land 5 successful strikes to perform a finisher and create an opening to demonify the enemy. So keep in mind that at this point, we don't know much about what's happened to Ardyn, but he was a healer of the people. He at least was absorbing Scourge, saving folk. He's been in a cave for a long time. So what's going to happen here is new to him as well. And I think a lot of people miss that point. Oh, you're blue. Press triangle when an enemy is vulnerable to demonify them and harvest their life force. I feel slightly guilty. I'm sorry. Demonify an enemy.
These memories. Could they be? Yes.
So Ardyn is also getting memories along with energy. That is important, quite important later. Oh, someone says hungry boy is hungry, been in a cell for a while. He's horrified.
Didn't purge him of the scourge.
He expected to heal him, and instead he gave him plague.
His power's unbelievable.
And of course, Versailles is happy.
Hey.
Eminent magitechnological expert Versailles Basidia steals away to the umbral Isle of Angelgard and absconds with Lucius's darkest secret, adagium. He escorts the subject back to one of the Empire's magitech research facilities for further study. And I think that is really a point there, is they're not referring to Ardyn as a person. They are referring, the Lucians at least referred to him as a thing, as adagium. They aren't even using his name. All of those things are very hurtful. And I also want to bring up that I think one of the biggest themes in Final Fantasy 15, which we see a lot of starting in episode Ardyn 2, is there is a difference between monsters and monstrous. And so you have to kind of wonder, when you look at like Versailles, to me Versailles is a true monster with the things he does. But the question is, well, Ardyn has a lot of monster traits. Is he a monster?
Oh. Somnus.
Forgive me, brother.
No.
But the throne seats only one.
Oh!
Hera! Gods, no!
I would agree that Ardyn became a monster. By the time you see him in main game, he is a monster. So obviously that was a nightmare. Some events happened, some didn't. Once again, Ardyn is an unreliable narrator, which is why you can have lots of discussions and different camps that people fall into.
Chief Basithia would like to see you.
I would like to know who Chief Basithia is. I wonder what that thick book on the table is. I wish it had a title or something we could read. Oh, I guess we will go around collecting blue glowies. Chief Basithia's journal. Yeah, I'm not even going to read that little title. Let's see if I can find it in our documents. I bet we have... we have a descension table. Oh, I do love the design to this. The archives hold memories from your journey. Photos lets you view photographs. Data log lets you review materials. I should have just one. Oh, I guess I have a blade. So the journal I just picked up. Chief Basithia's journal, Demons. I was but a boy when I saw my first demon, a wild canine, run afoul of the plasmodia. The fear that should have consumed me was itself engulfed by an intense excitement, much like the dark miasma that spreads across the land and blots out any trace of light or life. Basithia really is, he definitely puts demons and their powers on a pedestal, and it's just creepy. Some might deem me a madman, vilifying me for researching a wicked plague that brings naught but death. However, be it the magitechnology of old or the demons of our day, understanding that which we fear is a vital step towards enlightenment. He does have a point there. And that's also where a lot of our lore is going to come from our lovely chief here. And on Ardyn's sword, a sword that had stayed at Ardyn's side for roughly 2,000 years, flying forth at his command. One half of a pair, the Rakshasa blade, was forged alongside the blade of the mystic, beloved glaive of Ardyn's younger brother, Somnus Lucius Kylum. Both blades possess different properties, forming a devastating, destructive arsenal when wielded together. While one can assume both swords were imbued with the hope that the brothers Kylan would rule in tandem, envy and ambition ultimately tore the two apart. So there's a very sad story to this. Obviously, Ardyn and Somnus did not get along. Just making sure there's no other things in here. Nope, not yet. And of course, we are going to take the deep dive into why. You probably got a hint from his nightmare where Somnus literally cut down Era. All right, this one is, 3/21st. All right, let's see. These numbers were not the kindest. Chief Pasithia, Star Scourge, the plague that ravaged our star centuries ago died out for a time, and with it went all knowledge of the monsters it spawned. Yet since the discovery of a mutant strain of Plasmodia here in our very soil, that ominous word has re-entered our lexicon, demon. What caused the scourge to resurge? I hypothesize it began with the rise of our population that began in the latter half of this millennium. While the adaptation of magic technology has vastly improved life for citizens across the Empire, the territorial expansion it enabled may also have reactivated Plasmodia that remained dormant for many years. If so, then the true spread of the Star Scourge may have only just begun. And now keep in mind, this is 40 years before start of main game, but the really scary thing here is this means that Scourge is everywhere. It's in the soil, it's in the air, it's in the planet. Is this one only 30? I might be slightly off on years. No, pick up. I was thinking the Founders Day Parade was 30 years, and so this is about 40 because it's still prior to even that. But regardless, it's not 2000. Superior restorative. And apparently wine and cucumbers. What do these people eat? Maybe zucchinis. Hello, May! Thank you for joining. I figured I could count on a fellow Ardyn sympathizer to show up for this one.
Nothing here to interest me.
Okay, according to Tyr, he was only awake for a year. Wow, so he is really bored. Unless it should let me check that. Nope.
Nothing here to interest me.
No radios. Let me check this bookshelf over here. Stumble around like a mad person. But I actually ran into someone who says they don't trust any of the information in episode Ardyn because this was the evil scientist laboratory. And I was like, I totally trust the evil scientist laboratory. They knew all the things. Oh, it's so weird not to have to hide from the Magitech troopers. Alright, just making sure this bookshelves don't have anything. Oh, window. Can't see much. That would definitely be a person, though. I can see actual skin. Yeah, chat says evil scientists keep all the records. They like to brag. It's so true. I have no problem trusting First Eye's information.
This outfit wasn't tailor-made.
Points to whoever said he wouldn't wear well-tailored clothing. Ooh, and so once again you can see we are in Graelia. We can remember from episode Prompto those snow-capped peaks that we were running around.
Not the most enthralling view.
But one thing is Ardyn seems very apathetic. You would think he would be excited. Wow. People's in my way. You would think he'd be excited to be out of whatever that horrible prison was, but he's really not interested, and that's kind of interesting. Ooh, another journal, 17th. This one's Adagium. Although I long dismissed it as some foolish fairy tale, the recent discovery of an ancient text tucked away in one of the kingdom's royal tombs has convinced me Adagium is real. According to the tome, the inhuman entity born of the darkness has lived in the shadows of Angelgard for some 2 millennia. Yeah, lived in the shadows. Was chained in a fucking prison. Okay, pardon the language. Perhaps the Lucians feared its supposed superhuman strength and potential for destruction. Yet to let such power go untapped would be incredibly wasteful. The military may have scoffed at us researchers for lack of tangible progress on our Magitech infantry and daemonic studies, but if we harvest this immortal monster and harness the secrets it holds, we may indeed laugh last. So proof once again that Besithia is insane and that he definitely wants to use Ardyn. And once again, I love that Niflheim always has fire extinguishers. Yeah, someone in chat says, not a prison, a small concrete box you can't get out of ever. Yeah. Alright, anything down this way? Ooh, a little bit more. Nope. Nothing.
Come, have a seat.
Oh, that voice. Someone else says mad scientists are very good with fire prevention methods for some reason, right? I wonder how often they used these.
Gods above, we thank you for the bounty you have laid before us.
Don't want your food getting cold, do you?
Oh, Besithia. And he's actually angry that his prayer was interrupted. Or at least annoyed. I shouldn't say angry.
Are you enjoying your stay?
Yes, it's been fascinating.
No. You've been asleep for years. Learning to appreciate the waking world will take time. Perhaps I can help enlighten you while we dine.
Oh, please don't. Please don't. So I can ask about me, ask about the food, ask about his motives, ask about the time. I'm going to go with the food first.
What is this food?
Meat, cloned in this facility.
Oh, please tell me it's not
We cultivated somatic cells, use them as donors to fuse the nucleus transplant cells to the recipient oocytes, and then we...
Enough. I've no ear for the ramblings of a lunatic.
He cut him off. Oh, that makes me so happy. Should I go for time or me? Let's go with time. Prompto steak. Oh, gross.
How long has it been since you brought me here?
204 days. Roughly 7 months or so. Then again, the Lucians had you locked away in that prison for nearly 2 millennia. I'd be more surprised if you hadn't lost all concept of time. You
that
must
is a long
loathe those
time.
Lucians for what they did to you.
I wouldn't eat the bread either. Now notice he said you probably really loathe them, and Ardyn didn't. He's not screaming about wanting revenge. He just seems apathetic. All right, I'm going to ask about me. What samples did you take while I was sleeping?
Of me.
Oh yes, you've proven far more fascinating than expected. No wonder they kept you locked away. To think the powers of a demon could dwell within the heart of a man, it's incredible. The Star Scourge doesn't sap your life force, it gives you more. Your cells can regenerate themselves, and you can demonify other life forms as well. There's no doubt you are...
monster.
Not a monster, a marvel.
I am apparently Verstai's new toy. That is such a disgusting
I
feeling.
can't wait to unravel all your mysteries.
What is it you want from me, anyhow? What about me interests you so?
You said it yourself, didn't you? You were chosen by the gods. And frankly, with powers like yours, I'd say you're nearly a god in your own right. We need those powers that you possess. With your strength on our side, we could finally put an end to the gruesome war with Lucis. You too must desire the fall of the kingdom that cast you into exile.
Once again, pushing that revenge.
My desires are all in the past.
The man who wronged you may have died long ago, but his descendants live on to this day. Surely you must bear them some feelings of ill will.
I love his
My
answer
feelings
here.
are none of your concern.
Yep, none of them. But once again, he is not screaming, and he's not seeming like he wants to just go and kill all of the Lucians and the descendants. He is very much... It's just over. Like, everything that happened to me happened 2,000 years ago. Why would I care? So they have descendants. I don't hate those descendants. I'm not so sure about the potted plants.
This is the fruit of my labor. A small portion of it, that is.
It is the lore depository! Woo!
A human life is too short to truly understand all there is to know about the world. Go on, have a look.
If I recall, Verstein might actually even take us on a tour later, so I apologize if there's some duplication, but I want to be sure to see everything, so I'm going to look. Alright, we have another journal, the 12th. The Rock of Ravata. Acting on a tip we received from a friend in the private sector, we have sent an excavatory expedition to the top of the Rock of Ravata. Unlike the immovable Archean at the Disk of Kothis, the body of the Infernian should be unobstructed and ready for transport, assuming our team can reach the peak, that is. Legends say the Infernian bestowed the gift of fire upon mankind in antiquity, and this burning wisdom helped forge the foundation of what became the civilization of Solheim. And now, with the fabled flame within my grasp, I take my first step toward divinity. 'Tis a wondrous day indeed. So something really interesting in here is it sounds like they tried to take Titan first, but they couldn't get to him because of the meteor. He proved to be immovable. That's rather amusing. Oh, more blue glowies. Let's see, this is the 21st. The Draconian. Of all the gods above, least is known about the Draconian. That would be Bahamut. Neither a tutelary deity nor a regular fixture in written records, the Blade Keeper has left behind nary a trace, save for his name. Some legend suggests that he selected a king to lead Lucius and bestowed upon the Chosen One the fabled ring and crystal. In my opinion, it all sounds like the type of tall tale the royal family might concoct to justify their hold on power. But perhaps we can explore the matter in more depth by paying a visit to the Lucians' confidants in Tenebrae. So that is amazing. I know I've gone over before that there's a lot of things you have to make your own decisions on whether things are fake news. But the fact that Basithia was like, this whole the gods gave it to me sounds like something someone would make up to justify their rule. Oh, that's brilliant. Just brilliant. Let's see, the 6th. Now I'm finding him out of order. No! The Dragon of Talpar. The team we dispatched to Talpar Crag has returned with a fascinating report. Their landing craft came under assault by a flying dragon as soon as they entered the valley. Hearing their story, I could not help but recall a passage I once read about the legendary Blade Master, which stated he guarded the Founder King with his glaive in hand and his dragon at his side. This would mean the creature they encountered has been guarding that gorge for nearly 2 millennia, and if one of those Lucian legends has proven true, then perhaps the kingdom's fairy tales are more than mere rumors after all, even the whispers about the Undying. So Basithia has been doing a lot of research about all of the gods, where they rest, what the Lucian's history is.
Won't you?
Nah, I'm gonna fall down the staircase and die just to spite you. I hear goblin noises. Oh, look at this! Oh, that's one of those Deathclaw things. Historical analysis.
Demons were first officially recognized as a new species roughly 200 years ago. According to ancient texts, however, humans have suffered from a parasitic plague wrought by the demons for upward of 2 millennia. Demonification is caused by a mutant strain of plasmodia that takes root in living creatures and changes their cellular structures. Infected creatures begin to disperse miasmal particles, the spread of which is known as the Star Scourge.
Well, that's delightfully creepy. They definitely knew more than Sonya did. Sorry, Sonya, he's got you there.
This model is a replica made from plaster poured into a demon-shaped cavity discovered deep underground. Demons sublimate when their vital functions cease, so this particular specimen must have vaporized after the mud around it had already solidified. Scientists believe this subject burrowed into the earth in order to shield itself from the light of the sun.
Huh. So Star Scourge does not like sun. And yeah, lives in the soil. The whole planet is infected. Alright, 27th. Next to godliness. I've made a discovery both startling and astounding. The monster known as a Dogium is none other than Ardyn Lucius Kylum, older brother to the founder king of Lucius. Words cannot describe the sense of elation that enveloped me, knowing that I was able to converse with a creature who had lived for hundreds of years. His powers do not cease to amaze. Not only can he absorb the demonic miasma into his body, but he can pass the plague on to others as well. He also claims to have gained a glimpse into their psyche when doing so, relived their memories, so to speak. If this is true, then it would seem this man has been blessed with both eternal life and unlimited wisdom. He's practically a god in his own right, and it is really weird to be reading a report about yourself as the specimen. Oh, they did such a good job of just making this whole lab, like, extra super creepy. I don't want to check that yet, because it will set something off. Let's see. Oh, look, it's, that's where the goblin noises must have been coming from. Activate the device. Yeah, why not?
Given the demon's aversion to light, they typically stick to the shadows until the sun fades and the night falls. Adagium, however, is different. Unlike his demon brethren, he can still function uninhibited in broad daylight. Of course, the ultraviolet rays harm him, much like they would any other demon. Yet his cells regenerate quickly enough to essentially negate the damage.
It stings, like the light of the sun.
Yeah, someone in chat says they didn't even warn him. It's true. They totally just bathe him in light, and it hurts, and they didn't warn him. But it's also a really interesting... Everyone made fun of Ardyn's wardrobe, but now you understand why he's wearing layer after layer of clothing. It literally hurts to be in sunlight. And I don't know what this comment was to, but someone else in chat had said Bahamut got a piss somewhere. I think it was about the plasmodium. But yeah, Ardyn is a little vampire-like, and the exposure to sunlight injures him. But it's also interesting because he definitely didn't have healing like Luna did. Not the golden light healing, although I think he may have had that ability. His big ability that he had was absorbing Star Scourge and not demonifying. Let's see, the 9th. Oh, I just love this place because it is just the lore depository. Combating Lucian magic. The Lucian soldiers' reliance on their monarch's magic is nothing new, nor do I expect the armed forces to switch up their strategy in the near future. It thus stands to reason that we ought to devise a plan to inhibit their abilities by whatever means necessary. I've given much thought to the idea of suppressing the Lucian's magic, and while it will be some time until we have a working prototype, I believe we should have a fully functioning jamming device added to our Magitech arsenal before long. Further combat data would certainly help speed along the development process, especially data related to the divine. What a thrill it would be to take down a god using the form of one of their helpers. So this is also the roots of the magic that, basically the jamming equipment that took away Noctis's abilities. And let's, painting. Beautiful, beautiful painting. Hopefully they'll let us see the whole thing if I check the check thing. Yes, the king and his men.
At center, we see what I presume to be Lucian warriors and the kings of yore.
Who happen to resemble Noctis.
I've learned a great deal about the first king of Lucis, but I never knew he was second in line. It seems to depict a legend in which the chosen king dispels the darkness. If that's true, does that mean Lucis intends to someday stand above all others? Their trifling tales mean nothing in the face of our superior technology. Only we can restore balance to our world.
Huh. So someone in chat says about the demons, we don't know that he left after they were healed. They could have become demons later. It's true, there's not a lot to support that. I do think he was able to fully heal people. The Oracle!
At the top of the painting, we see the Oracle herself.
Oh,
the bloodline of the Oracle is one of the oldest in Eos, originating with Eromirus Flore. Only they possess the power to commune with the gods. This painting depicts the Oracle as some goddess of light herself. She'd doubtless prove a powerful ally if she could be persuaded.
Yeah, someone in chat says, how did they get a picture of her? That is a very good question. I probably would have been better to use one of the actual just painting how the Oracle appears in that painting, which is funny. It is hilarious that Versailles is all upset that the Lucians might have wanted to rule over the world as he's trying to unbalance the world. And I can see folks in chat talking about that. And yes, balance is always something bad guys tend to like. Let's see, the Hexatheon. And I also do want to say really quickly before I click on this that I think at this point, from a metadata kind of view and an overview, they knew that production was shutting down. They weren't going to be able to finish this whole story. And I kind of think the episode Ardyn, they may have also crammed in a bunch of these things into these little cards that we could read because they weren't going to be given time to show them in the story, which makes me a little sad. But I think that's partly why we get this humongous info dump. But I am so grateful they gave it to us. No complaints.
On the sides of the frame, we see the Hexatheon. Conspicuously absent is the traitorous god of fire who started the Great War of old. Perhaps developing a deeper understanding of the demons will bring us closer to comprehending their divine counterparts.
And if you look at Ifrit here, he is not scourged.
Disparate elements.
All these questions, the fiends.
By my estimation, the grotesque creatures depicted here are likely demons. Could this mean these monsters will be harbingers of the apocalypse? If only we could find a way to harness their power for ourselves.
Front and center is that Naga, and he's talking about harnessing power. I'm still sticking with the fan theory that the Naga is Prompto's mom.
Evil from Eos, and with the divine on their side, how could they fail?
I can tell you how they could fail. The gods are bad at their jobs. Alright, let's see, there's a map center here.
This is our world?
It is cool, this whole map that we can see. So there's the birth of our star.
It has been estimated that Eos came into existence some 4.5 billion years ago.
Good to know. Oh, I like how the lights change to light up the bits. That's really cool.
Ancient myths tell tales of 6 protector gods who first alighted upon Eos in the ancient Solheim era.
Yeah, someone in chat says they're not bad at their jobs, they just view their jobs differently from humans. And that's true. The gods do not necessarily see what they are doing the same way we assume that people, think what the gods are doing.
Fossils thought to be remains of the oldest members of the human race were discovered in the Pistala region.
Then there were humans.
Some claim that humans discovered fire in the Sukkot region even before the dawn of the Solheim civilization. According to legend, the fire god Ifrit first bestowed his burning wisdom upon a man who later sat the throne of Solheim.
So for a long time, the gods have been picking kings, huh?
The mechanized civilization of Solheim is presumed to have originated in the Disgaea and Klain regions. Exactly when the civilization rose and fell, however, remains the subject of much investigation.
Someone in chat says this is shown in Niflheim schools. Probably.
The enormous crevasse separating the regions of Klain and Disgaea is known as Telpar Crag. It is here that the War of the Astrals is said to have taken place. When Ifrit tried to reduce mankind to ash, the other gods fought back, and some claim this clash caused the collapse of Solheim.
Poor doomed Solheim.
It is said that Ifrit, having lost the War of the Astrals, was interred atop the Rock of Ravito.
And once again, it's really interesting because they talk about him falling and dying. But with the gods, they have those two existences, both a soul and a power and a body. So it was really more, I think, his body just kind of went down.
After the war, the ice goddess Shiva allegedly sank into a deep slumber, nestled in the Goravas rift of Volúp.
Yeah, before they started messing with Ifrit. And,
Day,
Bahamut disappeared.
No one knows what became of the blade god, Bahamut.
Bahamut. I've never pronounced it that way. I'm probably mispronouncing a lot of things.
The earth god Titan can be seen supporting the meteor at the heart of the disk of Kothis in the sky.
I really do wonder how many people just ran past this room and didn't bother playing with all the things and missed all this stuff. Let's see. So I was... no, I lost it. The fight of the Fulgurian disappearance. Okay, I think it was...
As for the storm god Rama, legend has it he sealed himself away within Fosha Hollow in the sky.
Ramu seems like the nicest god, though. He literally just kind of played hide and seek and made you find a stick instead of fighting you.
The sea goddess Leviathan disappeared in the wake of the war. Some say she swam below the waves and slumbers beneath the city of Altisha.
It is a little frightening how much information they had managed to unearth.
2,000 years ago, the gods granted Somnus Lucis Kylum 2 gifts: the sacred stone and ring. With these in hand, he founded the kingdom of Lucis. In the centuries since, Lucis has managed to expand its territory while struggling to suppress a parasitic plague. As of ME 722, Mor's Lucis Kylum sits the throne as the 112th monarch of his line. Regis Lucis Kylum is King Mor's firstborn son, and first in line to succeed his father.
So the past and the present coming together.
Angelgard, off the coast of Golden Key, is an uninhabited island that Lucians regard as sacred ground. Ancient texts tell of a monster known as Adagium supposedly sealed away within, but investigations into its existence have yet to provide conclusive evidence.
Wow. Oh, the founding of Tenebrae.
Soon after the establishment of the Kingdom of Lucis, House Fulleré founded the nation of Tenebrae. The Empire began its occupation of Tenebrae in ME 359, a move that was initially met with much apprehension.
As it should have been.
In order to assuage the dissenters, the Empire preserved the Oracle's home of Fenestala Manor. This concession was partially made for political purposes. House Fulleré enjoys close ties with the line of Lucis.
And that held until the day they decided to burn Tenebrae.
The Accordo Protectorate has developed into a bustling league of towns at the heart of maritime trade. In ME 606, the Empire won an important battle against the allied forces of Lucis and Accordo, and in turn, annexed the Protectorate. The country is steeped in traditions and cultures that are incompatible with imperial rule, so the Empire has permitted it a measure of relative political autonomy.
Mostly because they cannot move their soldiers through those little canals. We all know that's the reason.
Centuries after the founding of Lucis, a movement to revive the lost civilization of Solheim arose around the Weltham region. Leading the charge was House Aldercat, whose brave deeds brought about the rise of the Niflheim Empire. The Empire built upon Solheim's magic technology and employed it for military use. This new firepower helped the Empire fell its foes, taking Tenebrae in ME 359 and Accordo in ME 606. As of ME 722, under the direction of Emperor Aedalus Aldercat, the Empire is developing new arms fusing magitech with demons.
Which we know is not going to have the best ending.
Vestiges of the ancient Solheim civilization can still be seen in the ruins of Piteous and Steeleth Grove. Several ancient structures also dot the forest of the Fall Grove that encircles Castlemark Tower.
I do need to go do those dungeons.
Is currently underway.
I, believe it or not, have never done them. I should do them.
In ME 501, during an expedition in the Ulwat region, the Imperial Army discovered a new species known as demons.
And thus spoke the table of knowledge. I do want to say on the collision of new and old as well, Noctis and Ardyn are very, very interesting because they are perfect foils to one another. They both bring each other their greatest sorrows, and they give each other their greatest victories or joys. So for example, I would argue that one of Noctis's greatest joys is Prompto and Prompto's friendship, and without the whole Magitech Deathless project, which Ardyn really helped to create, Prompto never would have existed. And we've seen from end of main game, just running around checking if I've seen everything, we've seen from end of main game that when Ardyn is finally defeated by Noctis, Noctis is not angry at him at all. Instead, he is very kind to him, and he basically gives him recognition and peace, which I think are two of the things that Ardyn wants the most. And so there's just some very interesting relationships in how they do foil to one another. Yes, we'll take a quick break and save. Yes! He looks so tired, doesn't he? And like he just doesn't care. These are not the best save points, but I will say episode Ardyn has the best save points in the entire game when we finally get to them. So if I look at this, it looks like there's more red dots. I'm trying to figure out what part those correspond to. Did I miss something over here? Is there more books? I don't think so. Doing laps, making him stretch those ancient muscles. Haha, I have not been up here. Okay, so that's going to be the second. The messengers. While few written records referencing the divine host of messengers remain, our excavatory expedition to Talper Crag has uncovered some interesting information via word of mouth while investigating the surrounding area. Based on what we've heard, the demigods fought alongside the deities they served in the War of the Astrals, with the followers of the traitorous Infernian being all from erased from the annals of history after suffering defeat at the hands of the other gods. Little else is known about the messengers, but I'm determined to discover more about these fascinating creatures. Alright, just some random person. Have to go see if that removed one of those green glowies. Nothing down this way. So the save point was over. Yes, I get turned around, easily turned around. It's a curse. No, it didn't change any of those. Unsure. I guess I will go over here and see what this one does. The Undying Prisoner. More about me.
That is what the Lucians call the monster they imprisoned for 2,000 long years. His powers surpass those of any mortal, and his body is all but impervious to attack. It's no wonder the Founder King sealed him away on the Isle of Angel Guard. He undoubtedly feared this monster might challenge his reign. It seems fortune smiles upon me. Though the Lucians kept him locked away for 2,000 years, I've managed to secure Adagium for myself. The
I'm not owned, thank you.
Seas may have cast all others away, but the waves parted for me that day and led the way. While I've yet to conduct any official research, the potential he proved in combat was most promising. I estimate his powers easily surpass anything mankind has ever seen. Perhaps this streak of luck has just begun.
Yeah, so someone in chat says, why do they call him Adagium? It is weird that they gave him a different name.
Texts and found scarcely a mention of you. I barely believed you existed till I saw you with my own eyes. With your help, my research is proceeding smoothly. You have my thanks.
Follow Versti. And, you know, I think that is a point. I think that part of why they renamed him was to literally strip away his name. He was not considered a person. after...
This must be how the gods feel looking down upon our world. Here we have a model of imperial territory. It includes our present lands as well as our future acquisitions.
It was very informative, thank you. Yeah, he's giving us the short tour. Alright, so I think I have looked at everything, but I do think it just kind of strips away his humanity. What means... Oh, adagium means truth about life. That's really interesting. Yeah, so Tyr says all the names mean something in this game. So adagium means truth about life. That is fascinating, actually. Alright, I think we're ready to move on. But before I talk to him really quickly, I do want to say, you can obviously tell something happened between these brothers. There is a very bitter hatred going on. Obviously, Somnus felt it necessary and appropriate to put Ardyn in a prison for 2,000 years, but it's also amazing that there is no bitterness at the moment.
There's something you should see. Come with me.
What if I don't want to?
I found something most interesting on the Rock of Ravito. If my experiment on this specimen succeeds, it might provide the information you've been looking for. This way.
Ardyn is peace, possibly death. And so I do want to point out here, so I am going to give a little bit of information from Prologue. Essentially, the gods, there was a contest for the two brothers to be king, and they were waiting for the god to announce which one was king. And...
Is that...
Oh, jeez, that's a freak. Yep.
You subjugated a god and brought him here?
Yeah, Verstai's not
he
the
was
brightest.
sound asleep, just like the legend said he'd be, so we put him on ice.
And I'm sure you thought this was a good idea.
Turn him
into a demon?
If you managed to demonify a deity, you could learn truths no mere mortal could ever dream of knowing. You'll access 2,000 years of his memories, and if you can control him, he'll be a weapon of supreme power.
All good points, but still a horrifying plan!
Just think you could exact sweet revenge through divine retribution.
How do you know what I want?
I don't, but I know you have no other options.
Oh, he's such an ass. But so essentially there were the two brothers that were waiting for the gods to say which one of them was going to be king. And what I really do want to say there is, unfortunately, there was a fight.
The Solheim, forefathers of our magic technology, once flourished on this land.
And Era died, and it was unclear which one was chosen.
Prosperous to this day.
And you wish to restore them to greatness?
To surpass them, which is why I need you to lend me your strength. But I'm certain magic technology and demons are the keys to unlocking the door to a new future.
Or they could just lead to, bad things. Alright, I'm going to pause for one moment. But yeah, so essentially, there was this contest. What was interesting about it, and if you watch Prologue, you'll see it, is that essentially, Ardyn became afraid that Somnus might kill him to solve the contest that way. And so he left the capital, and eventually they sent men, and they told Ardyn, hey, you've been chosen as king, and brought him back to the capital. And when he was there, Somnus suddenly stood up and said, haha, actually, I was chosen as king, brother. And then Era ended up jumping between the two brothers in a battle and died. So there is a question of who was the founder king. And I think that helps to know going into this. But Ardyn is very angry that Somnus killed Era. That's really, his heart was taken out. I do think that is why he's so apathetic. He's like, she's gone. There's no point in revenge. All of this happened 2,000 years ago, and I can't do anything.
Lucians? But how?
Code me, squad. Adagium sighted.
Requesting backup from Nimbus squad.
Shutting down communications until all clear.
So, you've come to kill me, have you?
Or die trying.
Wow, they definitely keep kicking him first. And here's where you see he is a little insane. So that's the first rage we've really seen, I think. Defeat the royal guards. Let's see if I remember what my buttons do. Oop, nope, not that one. Demonify enemies to fill the phantasm bar. Alright. Wow, that shadow slide is just amazing and devastating. Look how fast he is. Oh, I am so sorry, demonified guard.
Perhaps you ought to sleep away on that.
Oh, it is scary how easy that is. How do I use my royal arms? R1 lock on. Oh, geez. Yeah, definitely not someone you want to mess with. But you can see he's having some sort of phantasmal voice from Somnus. Oh, that girl proved your undoing. Oh, I hate Somnus so much. I really do. Oh, and some of these things mirror stuff that Ardyn shouted at Noctis as well. You know, while your beloved died, you were off playing with your friends. It just breaks my heart. They're so alike in some ways. Apparently I got a broken crossbow.
Blast!
Unfortunately, it's not a great idea to fight next to a sleeping god and break the freezing equipment.
He's alive. Stop him before he destroys everything.
And what's really interesting here is I don't know that anyone can understand what the Infernian is saying. Hold R1 and press triangle. Okay. The oracles are the ones who have the ability to understand the gods. I can't believe the Lucians are still fighting me while Ifrit is here. Are you guys nuts? Okay, at least they started fighting the Infernian. You guys were smart.
Here goes.
Woo! Those guys are hard to hit at the moment. Alright, let's just attack the Infernian. Will it let me? No. I have to take out the guards.
So this is it.
Woo! Tried to phase that, didn't work so hot. Wow, he recognizes.
Oh, Infernian, grant me the power to take Somnus, his people, and his cursed kingdom, and burn them all to the ground!
Ooh. And so remember, he gets memories when he does this as well. So no. 2,000 years of memories. And there's Era in front of the crystal waiting to see which of the two was chosen, and Ardyn at least sees he was the one there.
Ardyn.
Oh, the sound of the fire in the background.
Ardyn. Era.
Oh, someone in chat says burning body is, no!
Forgive me.
Huh?
I defied the will of the gods and revealed to Somnus you had been chosen to be king. I never dreamt he would try to kill you.
But he did. Somnus fooled everyone, so he could usurp the throne. Everything that happened, it's all his
my
fault.
heavens.
Listen to me. It's my fault. I'm the one who ruined your future. This was divine retribution for my sins.
You've no sins to atone for. Gods! Answer me! Why have you burdened us with this fate?
That's a pretty shitty fate. And note, this is the blue fire of divine retribution, the same stuff that you see for the kings of yore.
In the names of the gods above, fulfill your calling, Ardyn, and punish me for my sins.
Era.
Kill me.
No!
That's right. Kill her. Put that monster out of its misery, just like I did.
Oh.
I can't. My calling is to save lives.
Just like you saved that innocent man by turning him into a demon.
Please, Ardyn. You must
Oh.
I can't. Not without you.
I think that's the most emotional we've ever seen Ardyn.
Why not give the lady what she wants?
No! No, 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 no! Okay, go as fast as I can! No, 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 no! Oh, come on, come on! Come on, come on! No! No!
Once again, you've failed to save her. No surprise. A monster can do naught but destroy.
I'll never forgive you, Somnus. This monster may not be able to destroy you, but I'll see to it that I destroy everything you built.
I don't blame him.
Above. No longer shall I supplicate you for pardon. No longer shall I sojourn toward the light. Nay, the path I intend to tread is paved with blood and darkness. No longer shall I seek your
Yeah, someone in chat says they blame both of them.
is mine.
There's definitely no one person who did wrong in here for sure. But I do think, and that's obviously where he broke faith with the gods and went absolutely crazy. Just wow! Awakening.
The Empire's demonic experiments bore fruit before long, precipitating the production of a Magitech infantry.
So interesting that Era is the narrator
As
here.
recognition for his contribution to this research, Ardyn Izunia was inaugurated as Imperial Chancellor.
Thanks to its newfound firepower, Niflheim managed to break the stalemate that shackled the nation for more than 100 years, and, in turn, forced Lucis to scale back its magical barrier.
Until it was
The
just
untimely
over the
passing of
city.
King Mors ushered in the era of a new monarch, and the young Regis Lucis Kylum succeeded the throne. Meanwhile, Ardyn began to spread the Star Scourge throughout the world, stealing people's memories and learning as much about the kingdom as he could. In time,
Wow,
those
that is
memories
really an
began to
amazing
merge with
intel
his
gathering
own,
ability.
gradually transforming him into a wicked echo of his former self.
Hereby
And now,
confirming.
at long last, the time for his revenge has come.
The Ardyn in main game is just nuts. He is a crazy ball of insanity and rage, and I do not blame him. I understand why. Someone in chat says, Ardyn never took responsibility for his actions and Somnus was a jerk. I kind of feel like Ardyn did take responsibility. I would have to go way more in depth than I probably want on stream for that, but I definitely lay more blame with Somnus and the one behind Somnus. Betrayed by his brother and bereft of his beloved, Ardyn is burdened with the blessing of eternal life. His feelings of enmity towards the line of Lucius grow greater with each passing day as darkness continues to consume his body and his soul. But I do think he very much was not angry until he got Ifrit's memories and realized that he had, at least in his perception, he had been chosen as king. I happen to fall in the camp that I think he was chosen as the first king, and Somnus just staged a coup and took it. There are different camps. Once again, it goes back into the whole fake news. Like, really how you feel about this story depends on which person you believe and which camp you fall in. Yeah, someone says, honestly, they were puppets of Bahamut, and I believe that is very much true, both of them. So now we're back to the delightful Founders' Day celebration.
Greetings, people of the Kingdom of Lucis. Do forgive me for interrupting the festivities, but I must tell you, this day of rapturous revelry shall be your last.
And I understand the rage, like, I get it.
False kings and fraudulent nations are fated to perish.
Oh, it's young King Regis.
Who is he? We've yet to ID him. Whoever he is, it's clear he wishes us harm.
Why, yes, he wishes you lots of harm.
I am going to put a stop to this madman.
Oh, Regis Lucius Kylum. I think he doesn't... Yeah, this is even before the limp. Though I think he's still wearing the livery.
Time to set to work.
Oh, and he even has a free...
This is your captains. Code Red, I repeat, Code Red. Follow your commander's orders and get the situation under control.
Everybody kills the wonders of technology.
Oh, they knocked me over. That was rather hilarious.
Oh, giving up the hunt already.
Have you identified the creature? Not yet, but we believe it to be demonic in nature. A demon. But how could it possibly withstand the daylight? For now, help the
clothing.
citizens evacuate.
Lots of clothing.
We'll take care of the giant. Absolutely, sir. The Crown's Guard is almost wiped out, sir. Target is still on the move. Special forces are on the way. Try to hold out until they arrive.
It's a little scary how quickly he cleans them up. Oh, that armature is not nice either.
Engaging the target. He's so strong. Sending backup. Don't let him get away.
Hold L1 and press the to make Ifrit form. Okay. Ifrit will temporarily fight alongside Ardyn. Issue another command to resummon him into the fray. So all of this goes back to issue Ifrit a command. Okay, I will do so. Since the game wants me to.
I pray you won't disappoint.
Oh, jeez, the destruction. He hit me too!
I don't think he's one of us. Then what the hell is he?
I do think it's funny how they can't recognize who he is. And so they think this is just another Lucian guard, which is kind of terrifying.
Sir, we've identified the giant. It's the Infernian. They've reached the Infernian. An astral? Yes, sir. One of our officers seems to be controlling the Infernian, but we can't get an ID on him. What? Find out who he is at once.
Wow.
Think you can kill me? I'd love to see you try.
And this is also the time when you realize a lot of what Ardyn says he absolutely means.
Now I need you to locate and destroy the devices amplifying the wall.
As you wish, just sit back and enjoy the show. Now where in the world might those dastardly devices be?
Alright, disable a wall amplifier to seize control of the surrounding area. Check the map to view the location of the amplifiers. Wall amplifiers also strengthen the royal guards stationed around them. Disable the amplifier to weaken the enemies. Not that you need them any weaker, let's be honest. I also see there's a camp right behind me.
All the devices they're using to amplify the wall. They seem to be positioned on rooftops around the city. Find them and destroy them.
With pleasure. I'll be sure to keep you abreast of my progress. No rest for the wicked.
Press L2 to perform a phantasmal leap and quickly point warp. Oh, let's check that out. Yes! Oh, that's amazing! Alright, and then there's going to be an amplifier over there. I want to see if I can find that camp. I think it's down here. I just love that he turns into miasma. There's no penalty for landing. Your shadow step. There's no doubt in my mind he could have killed the bros at any point if he wanted to. And the best save points ever. The city's on alert. Guards are everywhere. And what does Ardyn do? Sits on a bench, reading a magazine and sipping ebony. Amidst the death and destruction. Oh, best save point ever. Yeah, someone else in chat agrees. It is just the best save screen. It really is. And from this point on, it kind of turns a little bit into a game for a while of destroying the city. As you explore Insomnia, destroy decorations and other objects related to the Founders Day Festival to boost your score. So for tonight, though, I'm looking up and I can see that it's almost 8:30, so since we're right next to a save point and heading into the next portion of this game, I'll probably go ahead and stop my stream here for the evening, although I do have to tell you, my friend Tier coined the best description of episode Ardyn, which is Ardyn, popper of balloons. And I really just, there's so much unexpected in this particular thing. The music is great. Yes, I love so much about this, and I'm looking forward to playing it again next week. I do really quickly want to just remind folks that if you ever miss an episode, I want to kind of skip through the parts where I get lost. I do upload all of my raw videos to YouTube under my name, Melia Mucks About. And as always, I just want to say thank you to everyone who has joined me for this. I hope you are enjoying it as much as I am. And I really just appreciate the support. I appreciate everyone coming by and keeping chat alive and just supporting me while I'm doing my stream. Yeah, someone in chat says, yes, balloons, get them. That was your kid's favorite part. It's amazing. So I will be wreaking havoc upon Insomnia and only feeling slightly guilty about it next week. I once again stream from 7 to 8:30 p.m. Mountain Times on Monday, and I will see you all then.